I'm Dylan, and welcome to Twisted Rich Garage. What's up, guys, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Twisted Wrench Garage. Been out here a few times this week, did a few things this week so far. I just didn't record everything that I was doing. Did replace some wheel bearings on Ted's Saturn, that green Saturn that you guys have seen before. I did all the front suspension, redid that whole front suspension. The only thing we didn't replace was basically the wheel hub bearing assembly. So I went ahead and took care of that Monday or Tuesday, I think. So that's all fixed and taken care of. If you guys want more information on that, I can kind of share with you, but it's not really a hard job. That one was because it was stuck in its spot on the passenger side. That was the one that was bad, so it was rusted in its spot. So, but today we're actually out here. We were out here yesterday working on this silver truck. You guys probably remember it from whenever I lowered it. He was able to go ahead and he got the wheels on. So I'll give you guys a better look at those here in a little bit once we get some more stuff done to it. But what we're doing today is we're actually going to be installing all of this stuff you see right here behind me. So let me get this flipped around for you here for you guys. So we're going to be putting in a new set of headlights, some aftermarket ones. You can pick these up on like Amazon for like 40 bucks, anywhere between 40 bucks and like 80 bucks depending on which model you guys get. Mine has a little LED strip that goes around them, and that involved a little bit extra wiring, but these are just kind of a plug and play, and that'll be a real simple job. We got some tail lights that we're going to throw into this old girl, because if you haven't noticed, no lights, so we got no bling bling bling. So we're gonna clean these up. We'll get those thrown in. We got to get the wiring out from underneath it, because it actually it's zip tied up underneath, because yesterday he hooked up the bed, put the bed back on it, and well, it was on it, it was just kind of sitting on it. He bolted the bed back up. He actually put the stock shackles back on because he wanted it to be more of a level look. And then one other thing he asked us to do today was to take this filler neck and get her on the truck, because can't run the truck without the old dinosaur juice. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this stuff all going here, and I'll get you guys at a better spot so you guys can see a little better. All right, guys, so still working on the 9190 Dodge Ram short bed that I lowered for a buddy of mine. So I was down trying to figure out the lights, because it didn't have we only had like half of the harness in the back here. So I went ahead and got rid of that. We did find another harness for the back of it, so I went ahead and plugged all that in. It still needs some repairs on the lines or on the wires themselves. It needs some repair on the wires themselves to then connect that factory harness back in. But after I got all that hooked up, I was testing the line or the wires and such, and I wasn't getting any power. So I actually had to do quite a bit of troubleshooting, and that took most of my day trying to figure out what was causing the issues of this truck. And it was kind of a weird one, so kind of let me kind of show you. So right now, if you guys can see for that side marker, right now I've actually got it to where it kicks on with the running lights now. Both sides are working. Whereas before I'd pull that switch and nothing would happen. Same thing with the headlights. Get the headlights turned on, pull it out the rest of the way, and we got headlights. The dimmer switch for the brights isn't working. You can see it doesn't stay, so that's something I'll have to get fixed later. But one of the issues that we were having is on this light switch. What would happen is while it was in, nothing. You'd pull it out to the running lights, nothing. Pull it out to the headlights, and you would just get headlights and no running lights. Okay, so and what I kept noticing is if I just pulled on it just enough and got it in the right spot, I would have running lights. Same thing on the headlight. If I get that headlight switch right in that right spot, I'd have headlights and running lights. But after a bit of troubleshooting, I finally found that down here, I don't know why I didn't check this before, but this fuse right here, horn / exterior lamps, that fuse was busted. So for some reason that wasn't giving us enough power to get all the lights working. So now we got that changed, and now we have all the lights working again. So I will be back out here tomorrow, and I'll get to finishing up the wiring underneath the bed for the taillights, as well as we'll get we actually found another set of taillights with the chrome trim, so we're going to throw those on instead. We got some air shocks to throw onto the back, and then we still got those headlights to throw in on the front. So she'll definitely be getting a bit of a makeover this week, especially with all the wheels and tires and such. Give you a good little view over here. She's looking good. The lighting isn't necessarily great for this camera. Did get a new one, so I'm having fun playing around with it. But she's coming along. She's looking really good. See if we can get a better shot from this side. Those wheels look awesome. I'm thinking I may need to take mine black instead of off-white. So we'll check you guys tomorrow when we get back to work on this truck. We're back out here again, working on this silver 91. Almost done with the process of wiring up the tail lights. I was just testing everything out to confirm. It was a mess. It was a mess down here. There was only really 2 plugs down here, and it was just for the driver's side. The passenger side was completely gone. So with this harness, I was able to patch it all in. We only got one more thing to solder, which is going to be our grounds for all the lights, which are these gray ones here. And then I've got an additional ground that someone added at some point that I'm going to be taking advantage of to make sure we've got a real good ground for these lights. Everything works, so the only thing we got to do is just solder these and these together, and we're good. So go ahead and take off my little jumper wire here so we can start soldering that up. Alright guys, we got all the rear lighting all wired up. Got the harness all wired in there, and it runs along the frame rail and splits off to the passenger side up into there. There's our tail lights for the passenger side. Got a little trailer connector there, and that's where this is that harness that we patched in. You got double connectors there, and then it goes across, and then there's a double connector there, and then the main harness actually comes from that way, which is where you see that there. Went ahead and tossed in those air shocks. We got all the lines ran. I ran it pretty much the exact same way as I ran mine. Over to the middle, crisscross, and then we meet in here, and then this one we set up to go right through the tag right there. So that is all done. So the only thing we got to do now is we got to hook up the headlights up front, and then our gas filled neck, and we are done with this truck for the time being. So it's coming together, ready to get this outside so we can get a good look at it. All right guys, there she is. We got her all done and caught up on all the stuff we needed to do. We got the wheels and tires on, we got it dropped, we got all the lights working except for the hazards for some reason. Those didn't want to work right for some reason. But man, she's looking good. I'm gonna get some good photos of her too. Yeah, she's looking real good. We took the 2-inch drop shackles off, so it's just got the factory shackles, air shocks, and the flip kit on the back. We got the tail lights all installed, and all of that's working. So it's really looking good. Oh yeah, I like it. He's super pleased with the way it's coming out. I think it's looking really good. Let's get these lights turned on. We'll show you what they look like, guys. We got all of our running lights and turn signals and such. There's those aftermarket headlights. They do really make a big difference, guys. I mean, there's so much. It's so worth the 40, 50 bucks, 60 bucks you guys can spend on them. But that's everything for this week of this week's episode of Twisted Wrench Garage. Thanks for following along as I lowered and got this truck all prepped and ready for street driving. She's all low, ready to go. Got all the lights working. We got some air shocks in the back so it can be towed, so it can actually do some little bit of work now. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll check you guys on the next one.